I am going to tell you 5 things I learned about blood sugar after I turned 100. Not from a textbook, from living in this body for 104 years. My name is Ngarra Walker. I am a Yolŋu woman from the Northern Territory of Australia. I worked as a midwife for 50 years. I have delivered over 900 babies. My blood sugar this morning was 5.2 millimoles per litre. For those in America, that is 94 milligrams per deciliter. Completely normal, without medication. After being told at 78 I would need insulin for the rest of my life. 1 food, every morning, for 26 years. 5 things. Let me tell you all of them. Thing number 1. What your doctor never tells you about diabetes after 60. More than 1 in 4 people over the age of 65 has type 2 diabetes. 1 in 4. Most of them were told the same thing I was told. Your pancreas is not producing enough insulin. You need medication to manage this. This condition is chronic and progressive. Chronic and progressive. Those words sit heavy. What my doctor did not tell me, what most doctors do not tell their patients, is that type 2 diabetes in older adults is almost always driven by something specific and fixable. Not a broken pancreas, a broken breakfast. Research published in 2025 in the journal Phytotherapy Research analyzed 6 randomized controlled trials and found that a specific dietary change reduced fasting blood glucose by an average of 21.7 milligrams per deciliter, without changing any medication. Your blood sugar is not a life sentence. It is a daily conversation between your body and what you put into it every single morning. Thing number 2. Why the pills work less the longer you take them. I want to say carefully that medication for diabetes can be genuinely necessary. I am not telling you to stop yours, but I am telling you what I observed in 50 years of working alongside doctors. When you take a medication that manages a symptom, blood sugar in this case, your body adjusts to having that assistance. Over time, your own insulin response can become even less active because the medication has been doing the work. The medication solves the immediate problem, but it does not solve the reason the blood sugar was high in the first place. And year after year the dose needs adjusting. New medications get added, side effects accumulate. The system keeps you in the system. The only thing that ever addressed the reason was the food. My husband Walter, God rest him, was on 3 different medications for his blood sugar for 9 years. He died at 91. Not from diabetes, but still on all 3 medications. Never once told there was something else he could try. I think about that. Thing number 3. What the land taught me about food and blood. I grew up eating from the land, bush tucker, what this country provides when you know how to read it. My grandmother never had diabetes. Her mother never had diabetes. Going back as far as anyone could remember, none of the old people had this sickness. The sickness came with the new food, the flour, the sugar, the white rice, the things that come in packets. The land already knew what our bodies needed. It had been providing it for 60,000 years before anyone told us what a carbohydrate was. I am not saying go back to the old ways exactly. The world has changed. But I am saying the old people understood something the medical textbooks are only now beginning to write down. Your blood is a reflection of the earth you feed it from. Thing number 4. The one food that gave me my blood sugar back. The food is okra, eaten every single morning, not cooked in fat, not fried. 4 fresh okra pods soaked overnight in a glass of water. In the morning, drink the water and eat the pods. That is the preparation. That is all of it. I want to tell you the science because you deserve to know it. Okra contains a specific compound called myricetin, a natural flavonoid that has been shown in multiple studies to increase insulin sensitivity in the body. It also contains soluble fiber that slows the absorption of sugar from your intestinal tract after every meal. Not just breakfast, every meal you eat that day. And it contains quercetin, a compound that reduces the chronic low-grade inflammation that drives insulin resistance in older adults. A 2025 analysis published in Phytotherapy Research reviewed 6 randomized controlled trials on okra and blood sugar. The results showed an average reduction in fasting blood glucose of 21.7 milligrams per deciliter, and a reduction in HbA1c, your 3-month blood sugar average, of 0.42%. Those are the numbers a doctor would be satisfied to achieve with medication. 4 okra pods, soaked in water overnight, eaten in the morning, for 26 years. One important warning. If you are taking metformin, research suggests okra may reduce how well your body absorbs that medication. Separate them by at least 2 hours. And tell your doctor what you are doing. Always tell your doctor. Thing number 5. The thing nobody tells you that matters more than any food. I have watched people eat all the right things and still decline. I have watched others eat imperfectly and stay well into old age. The difference was not always the food. The people who stayed well, every single one of them, had a reason to get up in the morning that had nothing to do with themselves. A grandchild they were teaching, a garden they were tending, a neighbor whose fire they kept watch over. Your body heals differently when it is still needed. Research confirms this. Older adults with a strong sense of purpose have significantly lower rates of chronic disease, including diabetes, than those without one. The okra is the 30%. The reason you wake up is the 70%. I still deliver advice to young mothers in my community. I still sit with the old men who have nobody else. I still know which plant to put on a burn. I still matter to someone. That is the medicine no study can put in a bottle. I was 78 years old when my doctor told me I needed insulin. My fasting blood sugar was 11.4 millimoles per liter, well into the diabetic range. I went home. I thought about my grandmother. I thought about what she ate. I went to the garden. I soaked 4 okra pods in a glass of water overnight. I did it every morning for 3 weeks. At my next appointment, my fasting blood sugar was 8.1. My doctor said the medication must be working. I told him I had not filled the prescription. He was very quiet for a long time. I am 104 now. No medication. Blood sugar this morning, 5.2. Tonight before you go to sleep, put 4 fresh okra pods in a glass of water on your kitchen counter. In the morning, drink the water. Eat the pods. Do this every morning for 3 weeks. Then check your blood sugar. Tell your doctor what you are doing. The land has been offering this for a very long time. We just stopped listening. My name is Ngarra Walker. I am a Yolŋu woman, 104 years old. I have lived on this red earth my whole life. 4 okra pods in water every morning, 26 years. 5 things I learned at 100. 1. Your doctor doesn't know everything about your body. 2. Pills manage what food can fix. 3. The land already knew. 4. Okra works. 5. The reason you wake up matters more than all of it. Find your reason, then soak your okra. If this found you today, leave your first name and your country in the comments. I want to know where in the world you are. Share this with someone whose blood sugar is being managed but never fixed. Subscribe. We have more to share.